Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mest 5150. I am back at MaliceCast for episode 14. I am the captain now. Joining us on the cast, we have our normal crew along with us that took the reins and did a really good job running everything while I was away on vacation. Let's get right into it, kind of let you know what we're going to be talking about and what we're going to be seeing discussion-wise. First and foremost, we're going to go into the nerd news. On the nerd news, the main topics are going to be Star Wars related. We have some Watchmen stuff, some psych stuff, things like that. We are going to go into our nerd fight results for our favorite dad from TV and film, and it was an interesting, fun little fight. Then we're going to get into our main topic for the week with Preacher coming back and the news about Watchmen and all these other shows that are getting ready to come to TV or are in hiatus. Lots of comic book shows. We want to talk about what our next comic book that we'd like to see put into a TV show. And lastly, we're going to go into our new nerd fight. So everybody in the chat, I want you guys to kind of think of who you would like to be into the nerd fight for best villain from Doctor Who, because we're going to have our 2-week Doctor Who nerd fight for the two-parter that's coming along with that. But before we do all that, let's talk about who's on the cast today. So, as I said, I have returned with the beard and everything because I felt that was necessary. We have the co-host that has been hosting the show for the last 3 weeks and kept everything going, Mr. Beacon.
What up? Oh, Captain, my captain. Am I the Gilligan to your skipper now? Is that what's going on?
May have to get you one of those hats. Hit you through the screen.
I thought I had one around here. I'm about to look.
Along with Beacon, we also have Big Papa Matt.
Hey. How you doing? Your beard is almost great, by the way, Wes. It's okay, though. You'll get there soon. I promise.
I thought that was the thing, is if you're away in the sea and stuff, you're supposed to like get a beard and start growing it out. I thought that was...
Yeah, but you grew a chin strap, not a beard, so...
I'm trying to... That's just called shaving. Along as well, we have our big comic book nerd, Igor. If he can say hi, he's...
The mute button boss strikes again.
Damn you!
Technology! There we go. He does speak. And lastly, our female persuasion, as always, Super Hoovian Freak.
Hey guys, what's up? I need to get a fake beard so I can join you guys in the beard club. Can I do that?
It's not a bad idea.
I'll be the bearded lady. And then when I sing, the cast is done. No?
I'll be so alone.
Oh, that's right. I'll stick with Igor, and we'll be the beardless ones.
So once again, to touch on the stuff that we're going to be talking about, we are going to be going into your nerd news, and a lot of it's Star Wars related. In fact, up at the top, there should be a little dot or a little eye that you can click on. That should be for a poll that's running, asking if you think that Ron Howard will be the savior of the Han Solo anthology. And we'll get a lot deeper into that in the nerd news. Then we're going to go into the results for the nerd fight, best father from TV and film. Then we're going to talk comic books. What show do we want to see come from the comic book world next? And lastly, we're going to talk about our new nerd fight, which is the best Doctor Who villain. But before we get into that, Beacon had a little.
Yeah, we're gonna play just a real quick little round robin. Try to start this off maybe in the beginning of our cast, do a little something different. Let's just go around and ask, what are you playing right now? What are you, video game wise? What are you watching? TV shows, movies? Just basically, what are you nerding out on right now? And we'll start with the Big Papa Matt, because I think he just started a new video game.
Yeah, well, man, I've been playing all kinds of stuff, but Horizon Zero Dawn is the new game right now. PlayStation just had a huge sale during E3, so Horizon Zero Dawn was actually on sale for $39, and it was phenomenal. The Steam sale actually just hit for PC right now, And before this cast, I was almost late because I was going through there, and it was like being a little kid at the toy store, and I was just like, oh my god, it's so cheap. I can't wait. Oh, I need it. I need more. So look for me to be very broke at Comic-Con next month because the Steam sale is going to destroy my wallet. So yeah.
Nice. What about you, Igor? What are you up to these days?
Just watched Wonder Woman. Thank you, Matt. And I'm playing. I went the PlayStation route as well, but they had their freebie labeled "Crossout." It said in your vehicles, destroy people's vehicles. I said, okay, and it's pretty awesome. Nice, straightforward. Just PvP, player on player, car on car, bazookas, machine guns, and I've already spent probably like 5 hours at a time just designing the cars. Highly recommend.
Nice.
Surprisingly, not a sweaty group either. Good time.
Very nice. What about you, Super Moving Freak? What are you up to?
Well, I got into Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I mean, I loved it the first time I played it, and I only stopped because basically all my friends stopped playing, and it's kind of a hard game to solo once you get the higher levels. But so I'm loving that. And then as far as like TV shows go, I'm actually binge watching the last season of Blue Bloods. I love Blue Bloods. Tom Selleck freaking is the man, and I love that show. It's like Supernatural for me in the cop world. That show can just go on forever as far as I'm concerned. It never gets old.
Awesome. Just want to throw some shout outs in the chat channel to Mr. Nick Bradford. What up? As well as Marley Ba. And who else did we? I just saw somebody in there.
Rob's in there.
Oh, yeah. Rob's in there. Yeah. And I saw a couple of things. Remains of Edith Finch. So,
I really want to try that game. I really, really want to try that. I love that style of game. So.
Yeah, so some good stuff already going on in the chat. I saw some. I think Jack threw out something. 7 Days to Die. Yeah, so awesome. What are you? I know you just got back, so you still smell of free buffet crab legs and mojitos. But are you getting back into anything other than email and work?
Yeah, the only thing I've been getting into is trying to jump back on to the Malice Corp and throw my 2 bids out there in terms of articles and get this going with the podcast and stuff, jumping back in here. So, yeah, the one thing that I did, I jumped onto the PlayStation, and the PlayStation Plus this month, I can't remember the name of the game, but one of the free games on Plus is one that I've been wanting to play for a long time. It's Silence or something like that. So I downloaded that. I haven't started playing it yet, but that was one that I wanted to play for a long time, and I'll be jumping into that. What about yourself? I know you got something new.
Yeah, I myself finally went the upgrade route. I've been waiting forever, holding on to my PlayStation 3 like for dear life, and I finally, like, my kids, it's a happy day for them because it gets handed. We all remember the handy down systems too, I'm sure. So it's handed down to them, and I nabbed a PS4. So I just started playing a couple. I'm trying to limit what I'm playing all at once, but obviously just jumped into The Last of Us, the remastered version. As well as playing a little Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. So, yeah. So I got into that a little bit, and
yeah, Last of Us is hard to put down once you start playing it. It's such a great game.
And I've also gotten into Star Wars: The Old Republic as well. So
everybody from Malice Corp's going over there.
I don't have enough time.
So that sounds like everybody's nerding out on stuff. It looks like Nick was going back to Minecraft, which says it's a great game to play with the kids. So I've never tried Minecraft myself. So, but yeah, let's get into the nerd news. So starting hot and heavy with it, I'm going to talk a little bit about Star Wars. First and foremost, we have a possible date on when we're going to be getting the next trailer for Episode 8. And it couldn't come any sooner because we need more than just that little bit that was shown to us, and without giving more of the story away. But I definitely want to see more going on. But they did commission the second trailer. It is properly commissioned with its rating and everything. So that being said, it's probably coming either at D23 or it's coming at Comic-Con, which puts a nice little versus between the two of them. Is Disney going to hold out on Comic-Con this year and try and keep everything to D23 since it falls a week before? Or is it going to understand that Comic-Con is still a big part of Star Wars and let it be there? What I know you're going to Comic-Con with me, Big Papa Matt. What do you think? You think they're gonna hold out on it, or?
Nah, man, we won't get any Star Wars news. They're dropping Black Panther, a couple of the big guys. The monster movies are coming in with Universal, things like that. I mean, we just have some huge drops, and Disney will save it for D23. It's nice to hear a new director, but they really haven't started filming anything for that yet. We might get a trailer for the new Star Wars, but with the Han Solo flicks or anything like that, I just don't think they have enough to bring to the table right now. And Comic-Con, it's great when Star Wars shows up. Trust me, that's one of the best conventions I ever went to in the Hall H there. But we'll see. I don't think it will, though. I think it's there's just too much Marvel DC this year for it to come in and make a splash.
I think you have a point on that. I really think the same type of thing. I think they want to hold it for D23. It's a biannual convention, so they want to have as much come to that convention and make people regret not going to that convention and holding out for Comic-Con. But at the same time, there was the thing that came out. D23 is having a members only mixer that already sold out. That is happening on Friday, which is also the same day that usually Star Wars is at Comic-Con, if it's there. So who knows? But beyond that, going into the points that Matt touched on as well, Han Solo. If the whole debacle with Han Solo, it lost its directors earlier this week. That was Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who were known for directing comedies, 21 Jump Street, Lego Movie, very, very hot commodity directors right now. Apparently, them and Lucasfilm did not see eye to eye. The vision wasn't the same, and they decided to part ways. Yesterday morning or this morning, I can't remember. It was announced, I think it was yesterday, that they went big time with an actual Oscar-winning director and brought Ron Howard on. I have an article on MaliceCorp.com. Go check it out. It talks about why the movie could fail. This is prior to them bringing on Ron Howard. But what do you guys think? You think yay, nay?
I say yay. I mean, I know if any movie in the Star Wars universe could be pulled off as a comedy, it's probably Han Solo, because he was, Harrison Ford made him a little bit more comedic, I think, than George Lucas intended. But I don't know. I think it's a good one. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, we also had Fuel in the chat talked about he thinks it was orchestrated. He thinks that they made them decide to quit and then quickly replace with Ron Howard. I think it's just too much of a coincidence that Ron Howard has announced, right on the heels of those guys pulling out and resigning from this movie. And I have to agree. I think this was, we don't see eye to eye. We creative differences, all that. 21 Jump Street had some fantastic action sequences. For what the movie was, it really did. Those guys can direct action as well as pull in some great comedy. And absolutely Han Solo could have pulled that out. But here's the big thing with that is they don't have the creative insight that they needed and seen eye to eye. Oh, wait, you know who does? Han Solo or Ron Howard for Han Solo movie. I mean, it was a little too well played on their part. I
agree with both of you. I think it was a little bit set up because, one, to get Ron Howard that quickly, I'm sorry. That's you don't just have him standing there waiting for you. I mean, look at what happened with Ant-Man when they fired Edgar Wright. It took them a while to find somebody to replace, and then when they replaced him, it was with somebody that wasn't nearly to the caliber of Edgar Wright for Peyton.
But Ant-Man was still fantastic movie.
but it
Don't you make
still
that
was
face. Don't you make that face.
it
Don't you make that
was
face.
lackluster for what it could have been from Edgar Wright, in my opinion. But, Pete, you had something.
Ron Howard has directed a lot of great movies, but what was the last real adventure pick that he did? That's my only worry. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can handle Star Wars. I think it might be Ant-Man. All due respect, Ant-Man, because I did enjoy it, but yeah, I found Doctor Strange more interesting. Yep, that might be Ant-Man or lower. Like it might just be okay. And remember what happened with great big money and great big director. Say, for example, Waterworld. Yeah, people loved that.
Yeah. So moving on, go read the article. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and stuff. What do you think? Also, make sure that you click on that poll that's up in the corner. It's a little dot or a little eye that you click on, and it asks you, "Will Ron Howard save the Han Solo film?" Yes or no, if you think it's going to happen. Moving on, Super Movie and Freak. You had a couple things to talk about, both TV related. Well, both are TV related. One HBO and one USA.
Yeah, one definitely just a little bit more violent than the other. So I'll go with Psych first. Psych, the movie, the cast seems to be finally rounding out. I know they're filming, but they just released information that Dule Hill's real life fiance has been cast as his love interest in the show, Jasmine Simon. I believe she's in the TV series Ballers. I want to say it's Ballers with a Z. And so that should be pretty cool. You know, people have been saying for years, you know, why didn't Gus end up with a girl? Why didn't Gus get a girl? Why wasn't, you know, so they're finally going to get a girl for Gus. And now it's just going to be, you know, is it going to be a good person? Because Gus is kind of addicted to the crazy. He's had some really crazy people in his past. So that's going to be interesting. It'll be good. They have chemistry. Hopefully, you hope, fingers crossed, being engaged in real life. So that's going to be cool to see. But they are filming. I think I want to say they're about halfway done with the pictures that I released. There's an article I wrote with some behind the scenes pictures. You can go over and check that out. But then the big one, the Game of Thrones released its second trailer. I think it is second big trailer for season 7. Winter is Here was what the trailer was called. I wrote a whole article detailing, I mean, I broke that trailer down. I spent like an hour Googling rock formations in Westeros just so I could figure out where the heck people are, because there's a lot of standing on cliffs, a lot of walking by cliffs, tree stumps, people fighting on tree stumps. I mean, it's just insane what's going on. But there was a couple things I left out. You know, Arya's in the trailer. I don't know where she's at, but it looks like she's somewhere back in the north, feeding the rumors that the Stark children are getting ready to reunite. Because Sansa is obviously in the north, Bran is in the north, Jon never left the north. The only one we don't know where they're at and in any way, shape, or form is Rickon. And then I think that was the biggest thing I left out of the trailer recap. But like I said, there's a whole article you can go over. I break it down. I offer a lot of theories, some speculation on what I think might be coming in season 7.
Yeah, so go check out the article. She did a lot of in-depth work on it, checking rocks to see which rocks were where.
I was driving myself nuts looking at those dang rocks online.
The last bit of news we wanted to talk about, and this will delve deeper into the podcast later, is Watchmen news from Big Papa Matt.
Yeah, so HBO has had the rights for a little bit to Watchmen, actually. So one of the fantastic comics from Alan Moore started out in 1986, actually. So it's been around a while. And HBO has really been trying to find a way to get this show made, really. Obviously, we had the movie from Scott Snyder a few years back. And, you know, that was mixed results for the most part. You know, some people really loved it. I was a big fan myself. But what's really cool right now is HBO has been talking to Damon Lindelof. So he actually just got done making The Leftovers, and he was actually a writer with Lost. And he's in talks right now to make Watchmen. And I think that's pretty fantastic. You know, Alan Moore is just a beast in general, and this was probably one of his best writings ever. And when you consider he did things like V for Vendetta, The Swamp Thing, which was touted as one of the greatest of all time in his run. The Killing Joke from Batman. I mean, he has great, amazing stuff, and Watchmen is still considered one of his greatest writings ever, but we just haven't figured out a way to really adapt it to the screen of any kind. And I think this HBO's got a great task here with such a fantastic writer. The Leftovers, if you guys haven't watched it, probably one of the top 3-5 shows that HBO has ever put out, and Damon Lindelof was a big part of that. The thing that's really interesting to me here, though, is they haven't really given us a lot of details on which way they're going to go. Are they going to try to follow the movie? Are they going to try to follow the main storyline? We just had in 2012, we had a Before the Watchmen series, and that was all of these heroes like Night Owl, the comedian, Ozymandias, Silk Spectre. They had a killer run for these for a few years where we kind of got to see the origin stories of a lot of these characters in that Watchmen universe. So we could even go that route with HBO. We also have the new series right now with Rebirth that are also actually going to have a clash between DC and the Watchmen as well, where, I mean, if they've got the balls for it, they could go that route as well. But with how great the comic book world is going right now with TV shows, with The Walking Dead, Preacher, American Gods is killing right now as well. This is just kind of the perfect time for HBO to get into that world as well. And what better way than do it with one of the best books that's ever been written in comic history with The Watchmen. It's just super exciting to hear. And I hope this deal gets done quick and it starts getting developed, starts getting produced, because I would love to see something be fantastic for Watchmen. I'm tired that the media that it's hit with video and TV has been subpar, to kind of say the least, because of how great it was in comic and in writing.
Yeah, and to touch really quickly, Fuel Trazi made a really, really good comment in the notes in the chat. Who would make it better, HBO or Netflix for the show?
HBO. It's too brutal for Netflix.
Really?
It's too adult. It's too brutal.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Wow.
I like how Netflix is going with it. Netflix is very good with the more extreme content. But Watchmen needs as close as they can get to X for this, for just how brutal, how bloody, how violent that series really was. And Netflix isn't going to show blue penis on television, so HBO will.
Jeez.
That you know of right now. That you know of. but yeah, that was a really good note that I wanted to bring out. Now, to go back to HBO, I really hope they get it done, because HBO has been both in the works on Preacher and never got it done, and they were in the works on Dark Tower and never got it done. So whenever they get into that world, that space, something ends up falling through. So I hope they do actually get it done.
Well, here's the thing, though, here's the issue with that, though, I'm glad you brought that up with Dark Tower and with Preacher. They had Game of Thrones running strong. They're at a point right now where Game of Thrones is about done. This wasn't season 2 of Game of Thrones where they knew they had 5, 6, 7 more to go.
Mhm.
They've got 2 left of Game of Thrones, and they're still thinking about making spinoffs of Game of Thrones. Those haven't started production either.
No.
So if HBO is smart, this is the piece to land to continue that nerd kind of fest with the Game of Thrones fans and things like that. And this is the perfect time. Dark Tower, Preacher, it would have been great to see them on HBO, but they came too soon. HBO already had those ducks in a row for Game of Thrones, and now that that's over with, this is where they go and put that money into next.
Yeah. So that's it for nerd news. There is one last little bit. If you guys are big Conan O'Brien fans and you like Comic-Con, make sure that you go to the Team Coco website. The tickets are available for request now to be able to try and watch the tapings during Comic-Con. They do ask it for you for a badge, but you don't always need a badge. People in the past haven't gotten them. But if you like little collectibles, you get a Funko Pop, and you get to watch Conan and have some of his great guests there. I've gone the last 2 years. It is a fantastic watch. So definitely go check it out. They will announce who got the tickets in a lottery later this week, and you'll have to create a One Iota account. But beyond that, that's it for the nerd news right now. We're going to move into the next segment. And that is going to be our nerd fight, the current one that's going on, which is the best fathers from TV and film. And the choices that we had on that, this was our week-long celebration of Father's Day. In fact, if you guys haven't seen it, there is a video that came out with Big Papa Matt and his father talking about growing up nerd and the difference of technology between now and then. Definitely check out the video. It is a fantastic video. It's an hour long, but it's well worth watching. I was very enthralled with it. And yeah, I mean, what do you think about the experience on that, Matt?
It was a lot of fun, man. I had a blast just sitting down and talking with my dad. He's a little nervous to do it at first, but took him out, played some video poker, had some drinks, and he was more than happy to come back and chat a little bit about me. Give some great stories, though. And the thing is you guys really got to see an insight into what my family visits are. Really, my dad, my mom, they split when I was pretty young. And a lot of our time together is just sitting down at a table, having a couple drinks and talking with each other, just having some fun, sitting around and reminiscing about what was going on and hearing the stories that he can tell. I've said for a long time, but I really can't tell you guys enough that having moments like that with your parents, with your friends, your family, your loved ones is so huge. And this is a great format to really save that for future generations. And it's something that I was actually really excited to show to a lot of my other family. And I'll be really excited to show to my kids and their kids and, anybody else that comes after that to kind of see my dad in a great moment that he had and a really awesome time that we had together.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and it is, like I said, it is a fantastic video. So definitely check it out. But to get into the nerd fight, we had Brian Mills, Liam Neeson from Taken. We had Homer Simpson from The Simpsons, Richard Castle from Castle, Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, Jonathan Kent, and Big Daddy Damon McCready from Kick-Ass, with Children, and that was our people on there. Now, I wasn't here last week, so I don't know who chose who, so we'll get into that. But let's talk about what our results were. Big Daddy Damon McCready, Nicolas Cage came in with 5 votes. What happened there, Big Papa?
Some people don't understand what a good some people don't understand what a good dad's all about, and sometimes a good dad's got to shoot his little girl to protect her. And you know what? Some of you guys just aren't willing to make that sacrifice like he was. That's okay.
No. Or nobody likes Nicolas Cage.
I was just
don't you sass Nicolas Cage. Don't you sass Nicolas Cage.
Hey, I jumped in there and tried to get votes for everybody. So then the next was Brian Mills from Taken. That was what, a voter pick?
That was a voter pick, yeah.
Okay.
That was the fans.
And then we had Homer Simpson from Nudie Rudy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think chose
of
that
course.
One. So
of course.
They both shared 9 votes. Hey, it's not a bad pick.
Good pick.
Then we had who is a very legendary great father, maybe past some people's time to know who he was, but Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, who was played by Gregory Peck. So I mean, there's all types of stuff there. If Jack wants to chime in on what was going on with him, I'd love to hear it. But if not, then we won't hear him. Until then, third to the winning was Al Bundy with 27 votes.
Yes,
what
ma'am.
About...
Or no, ma'am. There you go.
How'd that go for you?
What's funny is I wasn't even talking about this poll today, but Married with Children and Al Bundy came up at work today, and I have 2 younger people that work with us that had no idea what Married with Children was. I was like,
no.
Oh my God. Like
feel old.
We've arrived at that generation now where people don't know some of this stuff. And poor Jack, you talk about To Kill a Mockingbird, which is a fantastic piece of literature. Not to mention the movie.
To back Jack's pick, though, that actually did have a little bit of relevance, considering it got banned in a couple states, and then it also had the second book that came out from Harper Lee. So it was circulating and trending a little bit in the media about, about 18 months ago. So I mean, I'm not saying 18 months is now, but at least it might have been a little bit fresher in people's mind. And it should be. It is one of the best books, Yeah, I think it's sad. I think it's sad that people can spout off The Scarlet Letter, which in my opinion is one of the worst pieces of literature ever written, but they don't know what To Kill a Mockingbird is, and that drives me insane. Sorry. And literary rant.
And for anybody who's watching who doesn't know To Kill a Mockingbird, I'll put it this way to you. If you've ever hated a book to a movie adaptation, that's one of those few cases where the book and the movie are both pretty dang cool.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome.
Agreed.
So
Totally
awesome. Yeah.
Tried
All
it
right,
for
so that left.
if nothing
All right,
else.
so then we had who was winning the race for quite a while was Jonathan Kent, and he jumped up there pretty high. You know, a real super dad.
Mild-mannered Kansas farmer.
Yeah. And that was a good fan vote because that gives the fans the second choice in the next vote. So, lastly, the winner was United by Browncoats, I believe, as well. So it was Richard Castle, Nathan Fillion.
You know, it's hard to hate on Nathan Fillion. It really is.
Well, I threw out one tweet, and I do want to say this to all these people that actually supported Castle. Beat B8 Murmur, Gloria JV, Homener 56, APRN 1119, Dorian Evelyn Pa 1, Kristen Dreffs, Alana Paints, who was awesome. Alana Paints was a fantastic conversation about Malcolm Merlin mixing with Malcolm in the Middle.
I read that. That was awesome. It made me laugh really, really hard.
Her Pegship and Ruthie0429, all those people liked and retweeted about Castle, and that's what kind of jumped him up ahead of everybody. So thank you for actually supporting the poll and going out there and showing your support for Nathan Fillion and giving him the best father trophy in our poll. Moving right along, we are going to go into our main subject, and that is going to be comic book shows that we would like to see turned into a TV. 1 second on that. Okay, so before we get into that, I want to state one quick little thing. We have jumped up quite a bit in subscribers. We went up to 113 at one point. For the new subscribers, I did want to thank you guys for actually joining. And if you watch the scroll up above the screen that has all the subscribers' names on it, we do add new subscribers as they come along, and we do really thank you for being part of this and letting us do this. But the main new subscribers, we had Mark Warden, Nancy Nikolai. I'm gonna ruin this one. Lee Tiet Ni. Frederico Gameplays, Richard Gillard, and Lawrence Hyung. So thank you guys for becoming new subscribers and supporting our channel. Now, Beacon, what comic book show do you want to see turned into a TV?
Freaking Hawkeye. I
Why?
want to see some Hawkeye, man. This is Hawkeye. Because he ain't going to get his own movie, so we might as well get his own TV show. I don't know who I'd want to see play it. I just want to see Hawkeye.
Do you want to see a transfer of the same?
Oh, that would be amazing. If they took the same, yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got. Igor, I know you're big into comic books, and you look like you're pondering there greatly. What comic book show or TV? What comic book would you like to see turned into a TV show next? We've got Preacher. We've got all this stuff. You know, Preacher just is coming back this week. CW should be called the CB. It's basically comic book television. So
and we love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what would you like to see turned into a TV show?
Well, it's kind of the Tron of the comic book world because it actually started back in the 80s and never actually finished until the end. I'm so glad you know it. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end was finally announced. It's starting next month. And so in honor of that and the fact that I freaking love it, for everybody who isn't familiar, it's the story of King Arthur reborn as some random schlub in New York City when he meets this homeless guy one day and asks him how he's feeling. Oh, and Excalibur ends up being a baseball bat.
Uh-huh.
But not to get too spoilerific, suffice to say it's a very, very good tale of not just being an urban fantasy, but for taking the completely fantastic and weird and marrying it into not only our normal lives, but making it extremely believable for the human protagonists and antagonists and the non-human ones, making it seem like this is all just normal life. It's just a part that you and I haven't seen personally yet. So that being said, my writing dream team would be Mr. Wagner, because you got to have the creator on board. But you need a team to make sure nobody gets burned out. And I actually don't know if he's ever worked in TV before, so that's why we would need Russell T Davies and Ben Edlund as the
I love
as the main
Ben
scriptwriters.
Edlund. Good choice. Good choice with Ben Edlund.
Because Russell T Davies does a lot of experience, as Whovians know, for taking the threatening and strange or just the outright bizarre and marrying it into our world suddenly. And Ben Edlund not only created The Tick, but you might notice his producing or his directing credits and definitely writing credits on little shows like Buffy, Angel, Firefly. So you know he knows from...
Dude, Supernatural. He was a rock star in Supernatural.
And Supernatural. But yeah, you know he knows from the whimsical all the way on out to the horrifying and making it even slightly film noir-y at the same time very well, and that's Mage to a T.
Yeah.
Which is why I would also want the director who's not only really well versed in film by now, but also a lot of TV, that especially if you look at Lost and Alias, is really good at creating this believable world, and then
that's my show
suddenly jumping in. He's going to be busy. He's already a busy man. He won't mind. He won't mind. He likes more projects. No. But he's really good at making it like it's our world, but then all of a sudden explosions of weird. J.J. Abrams directing.
Now the thing for, like you said, you don't know if Matt was in had done anything with TV. He did do something with the movie. If you watch Chasing Amy for 2 seconds when they first pan into the main girl and she's signing her comics and stuff at the end of the movie, Matt walks by because he was friends with Kevin Smith. So that's the whole comic book nerd stuff. So yeah, Mage, fantastic comic book. Really, guys, you should check it out. If you're in the San Diego area, go to Sky High Comics, and you could probably pick up some trade paperbacks there for Mage. Big Papa Matt.
That's a tough choice. I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of favorites out there. Obviously, I could go with just my main one, and I would just like to see Constantine come back. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would just like to see that come back. Yes. I'm a huge fan. But if I had, the ultimate piece to have something come back or be a show from a comic book, I would say Swamp Thing, but the TV show can never do it. And right now, actually, one of my more favorite ones is a book called Norman right now. So I'd actually like to see this book I've been reading lately called Norman get made into TV show. And it's about a little kid who turns out to be a serial killer, but he his friends die in all these weird, crazy ways. He has like a little buddy, that's always talking to him, this little evil spirit that's, trying to convince him, to kill people and things like that. And I think that'd be a fun little twist on the children interacting with each other. So I think that'd be a blast. So I'm gonna go with Norman. I'd love to see that show Norman get made if I couldn't get Swamp Thing. Also in the chat channel right now, Beacon, there's a lot of hate on your Hawkeye pick. They're saying so you're saying you want just a guy who shoots arrows with no powers. So you're Arrow right now. So I appreciate the chat channel giving Beacon as much crap as he deserves.
But my comeback to that is like my favorite comic book heroes. My favorite comic book heroes don't have superpowers. Batman, Green Arrow, those are my top two favorite comic books of all time. So I don't have to have that love for superpowers to.
Well, I mean, we'll get more people on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get more people on TV with bows and arrows. We'll get Robin Hood back. We'll get Arrow go. We'll make sure Arrow stays strong. We'll see what other guys we can get with bows and arrows and some kind of tights on TV for you. No problem.
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
Super Review Free. Do you have?
What I do. I've been saying it for a while. We need Rogue. I need something with her, whether it's a TV show or a movie. She's got enough background and backstory to hold a series on her own. She's a very compelling character. She needs redemption from those horrible movies. that they had her in. I mean, Anna Paquin did nothing with the role. And I personally, my fantasy casting, I want Alicia Vikander as Rogue. Writing cast, that's a little tough. Someone to be able to handle the character who's a comic book, you got to know the story. I've been saying it for a while, Robert Barron's from Supernatural to pull another Supernatural writer. He's smart. He's very witty. He's philosophical when he needs to be, and he's written some of the best episodes of Supernatural. So I think he could handle the meat. He would need a partner. I don't know who would be a good partner for him, but that's what I want, and that's what I need, because she's a great character, and the fact that she gets so much hate from people who don't read comics, who only know her from the movies, makes me crazy. Hashtag creams my cheese. It annoys the hell out of me, and so I am desperately trying to find anyone that will yes, thank you, because she does need redemption.
Yeah. So I agree. A Rogue TV show would be pretty good. My choice was a comic that ended a while ago, and it was a fantastic comic. It was called Why the Last Man. It was about a virus that that basically killed off all males. There was none left but this one guy, and he didn't know why. And of course, he became the, we need to make sure he's alive and safe. And everybody at the same time wanted to get him because he was the only one that could help produce children and keep the world going and stuff like that. I don't know who I'd like to see cast and stuff. I did say I would love to see JJ do a producing role on it, because he usually brings along really good people along with him and gets a director out there, one or two. The writer of the comic, Brian, I can't remember his name right now, but I think would be fantastic for writing the script on it and stuff, because he was actually moving into the TV world of stuff as well at one point.
Thank God you're not pitching this show to the corporations right now, because you totally undersold that fantastic comic book, Wes.
Hey, I just
been on a boat too long.
I've been on a boat too long. Let's pitch it.
Go ahead. We're gonna move on. We're moving on. We got time. We got to get going here. We'll pitch Why the Last Man another day, because it is a phenomenal book, and you did very little justice.
Yeah, well, it's timing. I guess the timing as well. So, no, it is a book that needs to be checked out. It is absolutely fantastic read. It did run for about 6 years, I think it was. So it has a full story. It's not one of those where you're waiting for the end to happen and things like that. But once again, if you're in San Diego, Sky High Comics, great comic book shop, check them out. You can order your paperbacks there and stuff for the collections. But last into it is going to be our nerd fight for this week, which is going to be the best Doctor Who villain. And the reason we're going that way is this weekend starts the 2-week season finale for Doctor Who, and a very known villain comes back this week, and that's going to be the Master.
But they're doing the two, aren't they? They're doing John Sims and
yes,
Missy, whose actress name I cannot think of right now. But so that's going to be interesting to see the two of them play off each other.
Yeah. So, and what we wanted to do was kind of celebrate the last 2 weeks of Doctor Who right now, because it's also, as we talked about in a previous cast, Capaldi's last series as a Doctor, and it's also last writing credits for Sarah, help me out on that one.
Moffat.
Moffat,
right?
yeah.
Moffat, yeah.
Yeah, so they're both moving along. So what we need to know is what everybody thinks their best Doctor Who villain is for this week's Nerd Fight poll. Because Castle won last week, their Super Whovian Freak will be going along with the first pick. And then the second pick, hold on. The second pick will come from the chat. So I do need the looks like pretty much who we're seeing, yeah, as Big Papa Matt said, has it locked up unless Superhuman Freak wants to be a jerk and take it from you.
I think she has another one in mind.
I
so
do.
The name is
Okay, then she gets-
Superhuman Freak, so I'm pretty sure she'll have one.
Yeah.
She better have a couple.
I do have a few.
So-
I mean, and the Daleks clearly are a classic, but they're not the ones that truly scared me. The ones that truly scared me, the Vashta Narada. All right, they took
Yep.
place in the library, which is like my favorite place to be, and they turned it into a killing zone.
Mhm.
All right, they you can't see them. The only time you can see them is when you're already taken and you have two shadows. So you have to stay in the light. You don't go in the shadows, and they're terrifying. I mean, they come in and they strip your flesh, and then you have your echoes and your memory echoes, and you have to just watch as your friend is already dead, but they're still echoing and they're still echoing. So to make my place my home away from home, the library, into a terrifying place was pretty good. So that's my pick.
The Vashta Narada. And the fans get the second pick, which is Dalek.
Exterminate! Exterminate! Had to do it. Explain!
I think they just basically like
Got that
Daleks.
unlocked. Yeah.
That's what they keep saying. So next pick was you, Beacon.
Is that me? I'm going to take yours, but we were just talking about this before the show because you don't have a pick until the end anyway. Because this was these were episodes that like genuinely creeped me out. And that's the Weeping Angels, man. The don't blink, don't look away. I know we were joking about that. we were joking before the cast about it, but totally to me, yeah, best villains.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about with the Weeping Angels is it's one thing to kill you, to be a villain that kills you, but a villain that keeps you alive, sends you back in time, away from everybody you know and love, having to
It's cruel.
figure everything out. That's worse than
yeah.
It is worse than death. Yeah.
And the other thing that we touched on that if you want to think about how bad they really can be, if Rory and Amy ended up together, that's not as bad, but we don't know. Maybe they sent them into two different times. That would be really awful.
Yep.
Which Igor had a point for Rory on that.
It just gives Roy one more chance to just be the man. And
Great band.
The time is nothing to him. So we got Big Papa Matt with I think it's the next choice.
Well, to tell you the truth, I might have to just bow out of this one. I have never been a huge Who fan personally. I don't really know any villains besides like the Weeping Angels and the Daleks, to tell you the truth.
explain.
I'm gonna bow. I'm gonna give my pick out to Wes, man. I know, like, I think it's Ood. What was like the telepathic guy or something like that?
The Ood, yeah.
Yeah,
They have the tentacles.
I think there was like the Silence, like alien guys or something. I just don't know enough. Sorry, I don't have a heart in this fight. I have zero dog in this one.
Well, we did have another mention on the chat, so I think we'll give it to the chat. We'll give your pick to the chat, so you just get to help out the chat people.
You got it.
Cyberman.
Cyberman. All right, that's not a bad one.
Cyberman popped up.
I've seen some Cybermen.
What's their catchphrase? Assimilate. Yeah.
No, it's eliminate.
No, that's the Daleks, I thought.
Oh, exterminate. Is the
No, they're
Daleks. They go eliminate. Remember the episode where they're going back and forth at each other?
Right. Yes.
So, Igor, you get the next pick.
I have painted myself into a corner on this one because it's genuinely the creepiest Who confrontation I've seen outside of the Weeping Angels. It's on par with Don't Blink.
Yeah.
But I really can't say anything other than the devil without really just giving the whole thing away.
Yeah. The Satan's pit.
Because the build up
Yes.
on that is delicious. And oh lordy, that was creepy.
Yeah, you're talking about the one with the guy that had the writing all over his face.
Yeah.
The space station that was strangely quiet.
That was
Yes.
nude. And, yeah.
Yes.
And that the TARDIS couldn't translate.
Yeah, that was a very
That got
good
my attention.
episode.
What? 2 episodes. That was a 2-parter.
That was a 2-parter. That was a really good. That's the episode, in my opinion, where you really saw the development of Ten and Rose's relationship. Them bonding over potentially being stuck in the future.
I want to point out Robert's comment on the chat that is pretty hilarious, talking about the Weeping Angels. He said they send nerds back in time just far enough that they're on their deathbed when the internet is created. So how would we characterize that pick then? Just the devil then? Are people gonna?
You could say the devil / Satan's pit episode. I think it's Satan's pit, isn't it? What it's called? I think
so.
Igor.
Satan's pit. I do believe. Powers of internet. Yep, the Satan pit. There we go. Check that out, friends. You will not regret it unless you like sleeping.
So I'm gonna go with my pick, and my second choice is still there, and we don't know what's gonna happen with him in this episode coming up. But my second choice is the Master. So to have somebody that's on the same level mentally and everything as the Doctor, and be a Time Lord as well.
By the way, I mean,
yeah. So it's hard not to compete with that when you've got somebody that's in that same level. I see Big Papa Matt cracking up there. What happened?
The fashion wise, that was great. That was boom from downtown Beacon. That was nailed that one, dude.
So
hey, look, anybody that turns the Doctor like old and into a little midget man and then makes tailors a suit for him, like the dude's got class and taste, man. I mean, yes, he's evil, but
that is evil that has business cards. I respect that.
I had to mute the mic. I was laughing too hard with it.
No, I just saw you cracking up. So yeah, that's our weekly nerd fight. Is going to be best Doctor Who villain. We have the Vashta Nerada, Daleks, Weeping Angels, Cybermen, Satan's Pit, the Devil, and the Master. So I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. All those Whovians out there, make sure that you get out there, vote for your favorite, and I hope you enjoy the first part of the season finale. I think it's tomorrow. So. And let us know what you think is going to happen with it. I think Super Whovian, you actually had a thought that was going to happen with the Master, right?
For just the fact that they were going to be playing off each other. I mean, it's rumored.
Yeah, you had a rumor that you thought.
It's rumored that this is going to be his end. That he's finally going to die. I don't know how or why, but that is the theory that seems to be going around on Twitter right now. That's why they're bringing John Sims back. And because I think, if I remember correctly, he is the one that reintroduced the Master in the New Who verse, and
yes.
So that is the theory that I've seen trending, at least on Twitter, is that he's finally going to just die, and then the Doctor will truly be the only Time Lord. No, wait. I can't remember. I'm all screwed up on my timeline. Have they brought Gallifrey back yet, or are they still looking for Gallifrey?
I'm not caught up on it. So
season. I'm trying to remember. No, they have found it, because that's who was hunting Clara. He was protecting Clara from the Time Lords. So But anyways, so that is the theory that's going around on Twitter, is that this is going to be the Masters final episode.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's start wrapping up on some of the stuff that happened this week. Big thing happened with YouTube for our channel, right, Beacon?
No, yeah. We hit a huge milestone. So I know that Mest was talking about our subscribers, and of course we hit over 100 subscribers a few weeks ago. Thank you to everybody who's been subscribing, who's been watching the content. That's been the biggest thing. Is E3 just blew up with the videos that we were putting out. We made it over to the 10,000 mark, which for us is a huge milestone because now I have a Fire Stick. I watch a lot of Netflix. I watch a lot of things that don't have commercials. But for us who are trying to put money back into this process, we get to throw ads onto our video. So we do ask that if you're watching a video and you see an ad pop up, sit around for that 15-30 seconds. It does help us. All it does is it just goes right back into funding this project. So we do have a budget that it costs to run this program yearly, and we would love to get more and new and updated equipment and things like that. So we don't do this to get rich. We do this to bring you content and to hang out with you and have fun. So that was the big YouTube thing. The next goal, I think, is 50,000 views and 500 followers. So that's the next milestone that we're going for.
Well, as always, share this with your friends and family and your hated ones as well. We don't
ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, enemies.
Hey, let your dog and cat watch it, man. Whatever. Instead of us watching cat videos, let the cats watch our videos. All right.
There you go.
Go to your neighbor's house right now.
Go door to door knocking. Hey, have you seen this great cast? That's this website, and here's the YouTube channel. Yeah.
If you want to continue helping support us and help us get better equipment so that we don't sound terrible and look terrible. Although I don't know if a camera will help me with that, but
well, it looks like we're going to podcast only if we're trying to fix the look terrible part.
Make sure that when those ads come on, you let them run. So, because that helps out a lot. If you guys have not seen this before and you're enjoying it, please make sure to hit that like button. If this is your first foray into the MaliceCast and Malice Corp, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let's see where we can follow everybody. So, Beacon, where can we follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Beacon_Malice Corp. You can also, if you want to hang out on PlayStation Network, same thing, Beacon_Malice Corp. Yeah.
He's got a PS4.
And you can follow this cast. You can follow this cast at MaliceCast. So.
All right, guys. There you go. Yeah, on Twitter. Okay, guys, get your pens and paper ready because Big Papa Matt is going to tell you where you can follow him.
Ready for it, everybody. Here it comes like an auctioneer out of the gate. You can follow me at Big Papa Matt on the website with malice-corp.com. Obviously, here on YouTube, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me at Son of Maku, SONOFMAKU, on PlayStation Network, as well as Snapchat. Snap. Have some fun with that as always. The Big Papa Matt on Instagram and on Twitter. You can also follow us on the Nerd Mosh Pit, making content for you guys every single week on that show. It is so much fun. We're having a blast with it. Had a lot of great E3 content out there. Check out my Father's Day special for the Nerd Mosh Pit we have on YouTube as well. And more to come. I got all kinds of stuff coming for you guys. The content just keeps flowing out of me like a jet stream. So I got it for you guys anytime you need it. Big Papa Matt, Son of Maku. Anything you need, I got you.
Igor, can we follow you anywhere?
Harris_Doubledon, like double down with no W, on Twitch and also on PlayStation Network. Especially if you want to tour through Destiny, I'd be happy. Let me know.
Okay, you cut out a little bit, so I want to make sure it wasn't terrorist, right?
Harris, like Harris, but with an H.
Okay. So, yeah, just wanted to make sure for everybody hearing that. Super Movie and Freak, where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at SuperHoovyandNut. That's probably where I'm the most active. Although I've been bringing up my Instagram a little bit at SuperHoovyandFreak. And then I think that is also my new YouTube channel as well.
Okay. And finally, for me, sorry about this week, guys. I'm still a bit of a mess. Mest.
The best.
And we're getting back into into the groove, and everybody did so well the last few weeks. So I appreciate you guys watching while I was gone and stuff, and thanking for not ripping me apart in the chat room.
They tried. No joke. Yeah. You guys have been awesome.
Well, there was. They thought I was having a stroke at one point. So, but, beyond that, where you can
all them crab legs, man.
Not a stroke.
Where you can follow me on Twitter at Mest_Malice Corp or on Instagram at Mest5150. I have a lot of content coming in terms of the vacation. We got a write up about one of the plays that I saw while I was in New York coming. Have a lot of video if you guys want to see it, vlogs of the actual boat and things that you could do on the Anthem of the Seas and stuff like that. So if you guys want to see that, please leave it in the comments. Let us know. And scar you for seeing me on a beach with no shirt on. So, other than that, make sure that you follow the website as well. We have great content that comes out on there. We do write because we love to write these things. We love to talk nerd with you guys and talk geek with everybody. So go to malice-corp.com. Check out what we write on there. Make sure that you help out with the nerd fight. Let people know about it, that it's going on, and vote for your favorite on that. Yep. And lastly,
Amazon.
Yeah. So we do have links. We do have links on the website underneath the articles for things that are tied to the type of stuff we're talking about in the article. So if you see something that you like there, make sure to click on the Amazon link and go purchase it. It does help out, and we do appreciate it greatly. And the last thing is, if you're in San Diego, make sure that you check out Sky High Comics. They are a great comic book shop, and they've had some great things going on there. We'd really like to send some love their way.
Don't forget our Twitter site, Malice Corp on Twitter as well. Follow us out there. Give us some likes, some retweets as well. We'd love to see you guys. Thank you all so much for that support on all those medias as well. Yeah, sorry about that, Wes. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's the last bit. Was there anything else? So I think that's it for the week. We are getting closer and closer to D23 and Comic-Con, so means we're getting closer and closer to talking about those things. So
and also make sure you check out, we did a video on Tuesday for the first part of the season finale for iZombie, and then we have the next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, will be the final episode of season 3. So we will have a cast about that. And Preacher season 2, the 25th. So that's going to be Sunday. Make sure you check that out. It's on AMC. If you haven't seen season 1, go binge watch it. I'm going to actually binge watch it on Saturday just to prepare. Man, I'm super stoked and excited for it. So tons of content coming at you this week. Right here on this YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe, and if you hit the little alarm bell thing, it'll notify you when we're going live or when we're putting up new content. So definitely do that. Thank you all so much for the wonderful chat channel and everything going on there. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Nick. Saw him earlier, and Marley Ba, and just everybody that was able to jump in and join us on the cast. And Julius, yes, thank you. I can't catch everybody, but we definitely appreciate you all. Thank you so much for supporting us nerds. We could do it without you, but we don't want to because we love interacting with you guys. So until next time, you guys stay nerdy out there.
Keep nerding on, guys.
Peace out.
But mostly stay nerdy out there.